bone cell, muscle cells, etc. ठीक है, तो this growth hormone is very important, and this growth, and how does the growth take place? The growth take place due to growth in the bones and growth in the muscle and all these things. ठीक है, so this growth hormone plays a very important role in regulating the growth and development of the body. And this growth, and you know that the growth and development is very rapid in the infant and in the children. And due to the deficiency, and due to if there is deficiency of this growth hormone, if there is deficiency of this growth hormone, which is known as the HGH, what will happen? Pituitary dwarfism will take place. What will happen? Pituitary dwarfism. Pituitary dwarfism. What is pituitary dwarfism? If there is a deficiency of this growth hormone, what will happen? The stunted growth, the growth will be checkered. The proper growth of the body will not take place, and the growth becomes stunted. And if this deficiency takes place in case of adult, a particular disease known as Sigmund's disease takes place. So there are two different diseases. There are two different diseases in the human beings.
Which are कौन सी disease sir? दो disease कौन सी थी?
I am going to tell you. At first, the deficiency of this growth hormone results in two different diseases. The first one, which takes place in the children, is known as the pituitary dwarfism. The height of the child will not increase. And if there is a deficiency of this hormone in adult, अगर adult में अगर deficiency है, then a disease known as Sigmund's disease. Sigmund's, Sigmonds, Sigmund's disease takes place. Sigmund's disease is characterized by the presence of dry skin and wrinkled skin. Wrinkling will take place. Dryness of the skin will take place in the absence of this growth hormone. And you know that if the wrinkling of skin takes place in young people, this is described as a disease. If the dryness of skin takes place, this is also the symptom of the Sigmund's disease. So if the skin is dry and the wrinkling takes premature wrinkling takes place after attaining the age of 60 and 70 and even more than that. But if a person has wrinkling of skin in the young age, समझो there is something wrong, and there is deficiency of this growth hormone. And not only this, the wrinkling along with the dryness of the skin will take place. So but this disease is very uncommon. This disease is not common. This is a very uncommon, and it is also important to point out here that the pituitary dwarfism is also very uncommon. And one out of 5,000 children, 5,000 बच्चे, किसी एक बच्चे में पिट्यूटरी ड्वार्फिज्म होता है. ठीक, कितने में? Out of the 5,000 children, anyone may have the pituitary dwarfism. But it is also very important to point out that the pituitary dwarfism can easily be treated by regular intramuscular injection of the human growth hormone for the 1 year. If you observe that the growth of a child is not taking place and the height is not increasing, you may consult a person may consult the endocrinologist, and the endocrinologist prescribes the Humatrope. Humatrope is a trade name of this. Humatrope or Protropin. Humatrope is a trade name of the human growth hormone, which has been prepared and which is being prepared on the large scale by using the techniques of the genetic engineering and animal cell biotechnology. And and it is also to be noted here that this topic, human growth hormone, has been included in your syllabus because you have to the importance of the animal cell biotechnology and genetic engineering in producing insulin, producing TPA, producing human growth hormone, producing interferon. We are not concerned with the we are not studying the endocrinology. We are not studying the endocrinology. Rather, we are studying studying the animal cell biotech, and we have to mention here the importance of animal cell biotechnology in the production of these pharmaceutically active compounds, which are the secondary metabolites. And these secondary metabolites are insulin, human growth hormone, interferon, TP, etc. So that this is the reason behind studying this human growth hormone, because you have to know the importance of genetic engineering and animal cell biotechnology, including animal cell culture, in production of pharmaceutically active compound. So this HGH has been, for the first time, HGH was produced commercially by using the techniques of the genetic engineering by the Eli Lilly Pharmaceutical. Eli Lilly Pharmaceutical is a very reputed pharmaceutical which has produced so many important genetically engineered pharmaceutical. So this human growth hormone, this human growth hormone is also known as somatropin. So somatotropin. This human growth hormone, which is being, which you can use the term HGH as an abbreviation. But this human growth hormone is also known as somatotropin. But these are the natural name. These are the growth hormone which are being synthesized and secreted by the pituitary gland. But if you clone the human growth hormone gene in the bacterial cell or the animal cell to produce the human growth hormone on larger scale artificially, and you will and the trade name which has been trade name of this human growth hormone which has been produced artificially by using the techniques of genetic engineering and animal cell biotech is known as Humatrope. In the market, the HGH is available by the name of the Humatrope. Humatrope is the trade name of the artificially produced human growth hormone. Okay? So now how does it work? What is the biochemistry of this human growth hormone? The human growth hormone is a polypeptide chain. You know that there are so many hormones which are polypeptide in nature, and the best example of peptide hormone is the insulin. Insulin is also a peptide hormone. Similarly, human growth hormone is also a peptide hormone. They are proteinaceous in nature. And other hormones, you know that testosterone, progesterone, and all such hormones are steroidal in nature. But there are some examples of the hormone which are not steroidal, rather they are proteinaceous in nature. And this human growth hormone is also a polypeptide hormone. Insulin is also a polypeptide hormone. Okay? So this this HGH, human growth hormone, is a biochemically a polypeptide chain consisting of 191 amino acid. कितने अमाइनो एसिड का है? The mature HGH, human growth hormone, is made up of a polypeptide chain which consists of 191 amino acids, and in addition to 191 amino acid, a very short segment of 24 to 26 amino acids, a polypeptide or a short polypeptide of 24 to 26 amino acids remains attached at this mature HGH polypeptide, and this a short segment of polypeptide act as a signal peptide. Signal peptide, you know that such proteins which are to be secreted outside the cell are synthesized on such ribosomes which remains attached with the endoplasmic reticulum. In your BSc part 1, you have studied the endoplasmic reticulum or ribosomes. Ujma, I would like to know from you. Just let me know what is the difference between rough endoplasmic reticulum and smooth endoplasmic reticulum. RER और SER.
ऐसे राइबोसोम पे जो रफ एंडोप्लाज्मिक होता है,
क्या?
दो तरह के राइबोसोम होते हैं.
I am not asking of the ribosome. I am asking you to reply to differentiate between the rough endoplasmic reticulum and smooth endoplasmic reticulum. And
rough endoplasmic reticulum में राइबोसोम प्रेजेंट होता है, वो लिपिड सिंथेसिस के लिए ये होता है. rough endoplasmic reticulum.
Rough endoplasmic reticulum, जो भी ना, you should not say like this that this is responsible for lipid biosynthesis. No. This rough endoplasmic reticulum, of course, the ribosomes remain attached at the surface of the endoplasmic reticulum in case of the rough endoplasmic reticulum, and in of the smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Ribosomes are not attached with the endoplasmic reticulum. You know, there's a very important difference between the significance. Let us at first understand the significance of the rough endoplasmic reticulum. You know that there are two types of protein which are synthesized in the cell. Some proteins which have to remain inside the cell, and there are some proteins which are to be secreted outside the cell. Secretory protein. So such proteins which are to be secreted outside the cell, they will be produced. They will be synthesized on the ribosome attached with the endoplasmic reticulum. You know that the ribosome as a factory of protein synthesis, the larger segment, the larger subunit of ribosome has a cleft, has a tunnel, and through this tunnel, the polypeptide chain enter the lumen of endoplasmic reticulum. And you know that the very important process which takes place inside the lumen of the endoplasmic reticulum and in the lumen of the cisternae of the Golgi body, and that process is known as the glycosylation. And I think that you might be knowing the term, you might be acquainted with the term glycosylation. What is glycosylation? Glycosylation is the attachment of oligosaccharide molecule to the polypeptide chain. There are some, you know, that you might have heard the name of such proteins which are glycoprotein. What is the meaning of glycoprotein? Such protein with which the oligosaccharide molecule, carbohydrate molecules remain attached. Okay? So this is the such protein. Here you have to understand two important things, that you know that all such hormonal proteins or such proteins which are to be secreted from outside the cell, and such proteins are known as secretory proteins. These proteins are synthesized on the ribosome, which remain attached with the surface of the endoplasmic reticulum, because the protein to be secreted outside, which has been synthesized on the ribosome, enters the lumen of the endoplasmic reticulum. And the lumen of the endoplasmic reticulum, you know that endoplasmic reticulum is a double membrane bound structure. When the protein enters the lumen of the endoplasmic reticulum, it cuts off a small vesicles containing containing that secretory protein, and that small vesicle moves toward the peripheral part of the plasma membrane, and it get attached with the plasma membrane, and then the releases or secretes the protein outside the cell membrane. And this process is known as exocytosis, removal of something through the plasma membrane. Okay? So such proteins which are to be secreted outside the cell are synthesized on the ribosomes, which remain in association or which remain attached with the endoplasmic reticulum, because such proteins are carried toward the cell membrane in the vesicles, and that vesicle contains the protein. That vesicle fuses with the cell membrane and releases and secretes the protein outside. Similarly, all such hormone like pituitary hormone and endocrine system, you know that such hormones which are carried or which are transferred from one part to the other part of the body through the blood stream is called endocrine. There are two types of gland. You might have studied exocrine and endocrine. So such hormones which are to be secreted in the blood for its transport are synthesized on the ribosome attached with the endoplasmic reticulum. Similarly, this human growth hormone is a secretory protein. This protein is to be secreted inside the bloodstream, and through the bloodstream it will be transferred to each and every part of the body where the growth has to take place. Therefore, this growth hormone, and such proteins which are to be secreted outside has a signal peptide. Just I am concerned here with the significance of the signal peptide. Signal peptide is very important.